Hey guys, Steven from Catty Bass. I'm back out here at Fred Pope Park in Palm Bay. I brought out my whopper plopper. I'm going to try that today. And I'm going to show you a wacky rig for a worm. Katie's at a different location, seeing how that is today. We'll check in on her in a little bit. But let's get this wacky rig set up and I'll show you how to do that. And then we'll get fishing. All right, so what I got are these little stick worms here. All right, so what we'll do is take one out. Oops, sorry about that, guys. All right, and the trick with a wacky rig is you kind of want to find the center of the worm, because the whole goal is you're gonna set it up with just a hook, no weight, and you're going to hook this right in the center. And the trick is that you're going to cast it out there and it's going to float down and look like a natural worm falling. And then you're just going to give it a couple twitches and it's going to twitch like this as you twitch it. So I had this rigged up the other day and I had a bite. I unfortunately was unable to set the hook. I didn't let them take the worm all the way in, so we'll see what we can do. So as I said, you got to find the center and the balance. So I like to do it that way. That looks like about center. Take the hook, kind of hold it like that so it's up. Figure out which way you need to hook it and set it up. So it's like that. Slide it through. It just sits like that. Alright, let's go try. Alright guys, so we're going to try the whopper plopper out first. This whopper plopper is a size 110. They range in different sizes, and each different size, it makes a unique sound in the water depending on what kind of bottom that you're using. And with this lure, it's a straight retrieval, so you don't have to twitch or anything like that. Haven't had much luck in these lakes with it, but I haven't really used them all that much. So we'll try it today and see what we get. Alright, so didn't have any luck with the whopper plopper in this area of the lake. Gonna move to a different part of the lake here in a minute to try it again. We're gonna use I'm gonna use the wacky rig just in this little part. I've thrown a couple swim baits in this little area here, right up in this area between the sign and me, and have reeled in some bass a couple times. So we're gonna throw the wacky rig up in this area and see if we can't get them. Alright guys, so I've got the wacky rig. It might be a little too windy out here today. We've got a whole line of front of storms just scheduled for the whole week. Tried to get out early in the morning maybe to beat the storms. Saw a little opening to try and fish a little bit. Like I said, it might be a little too windy. Since there's no weight on this wacky rig, it might want to drag it a little bit and not let it sink to the bottom. So, but we'll give it a shot and see what happens. Like I said, you're just gonna cast it out there, let it sink to the bottom, let it sit. Kind of like that. Have your line a little slack, because if you twitch it with the line too tight, with too much tension, it will really just jerk it off the bottom and won't do what you really want it to do. So just give it a little twitches and reel in some of your slack, but like I said, leave it a little slack. I'm kind of putting the rod tip low to the water, trying to keep the line from getting caught up in the wind today. Don't know how much longer I'll be able to stay out here. Looks like the storms are rolling in now. Came out yesterday briefly, and yesterday or the day before briefly, and used this wacky rig. Had it, like I said, I had a fish on it. Wasn't able to set the hook and let him take it in. That's the thing. If you feel the fish on it, you want to let him run with it a little bit so he swallows the worm, and then try and set the hook. Sorry for the weird view. I'm having to try and rig this selfie pole up to hold the camera. I didn't bring the chest harness or the head harness for it. The footage is from a GoPro 8. I just bought a new GoPro. Our other one decided to die on us for some reason. Not acting right. And the other tutorials you saw on the fishing were from our phones. We're actually going to move to where we were the other day in the video, the small pond. Before we do that, I wanted to give y'all a view, and kind of for myself, show what the water clarity is like in this pond once you're down in there. Kind of curious myself what it looks like down in there, so let's dig it down in there. If it doesn't come out good, we'll edit it out. Alright guys, so I'm here at the small pond. I'm already seeing stuff hitting the surface, so hopefully that means that's a good sign. So let's see what we do. See how we do. I'm using the whopper plopper again. Like I said, it's just a straight retrieval, and you see it, it makes a plopping sound. And the trick with this lure, guys, is to reel it in straight and fast, but not too fast. What you want to do is you want to reel it in at a speed to where you get the loudest plopping sound, but without that like almost unison sound where it's like you want the plop 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 noise. So it takes a little getting used to, and it varies from lure to lure and reel to reel. But if you get them, you gotta just practice with it. Like I said, I still am practicing with this one and haven't caught a fish yet with it, but I haven't been using it that much. So and the past couple times I've used it, I was using some weird technique. One of the older gentlemen that fishes around here was telling me, but that's used for a different topwater lure. It's kind of weird today. The algae seems to have cleared up at this end of the lake's pond, so maybe that's a good sign. So I was telling you about the sound. Let's see if I can get a spot where I can demonstrate it. You kind of want that. You want it to make that sound. The sound you don't want it to make is, you don't want it doing that. So you want more of that. All right. I'm still learning with it. I still mess up, and I think that's my biggest problem right now. But you can go on YouTube and look up, you can search other videos, a whopper plopper, and you'll see these guys catching them left and right. And when the bass hit it, they're hitting it right on the surface hard. It's not like a gentle bite. They're usually hitting it hard. So that's kind of why I bought it. And they're bringing in good sized bass with these things, so. And it could be just these ponds lately. Like I said, the older gentlemen, the guys that have been fishing here for a while, and they come out more often than I do, they've been saying for the past 2 or 3 weeks the bass really haven't been biting, and that they should be starting to bite here soon, but they haven't been biting for the past 2 or 3 weeks. So that might be part of the problem. And the fact that we got a big line of storms might be part of the issue today. The big line of storms supposed to, like I said, come in and rain us out all week. Alright, so I threw the whopper plopper out a couple more times. Nothing really biting. I don't know if it's something I'm doing wrong, or with the whopper plopper, or if they're just not biting. Like I said, I've usually have luck with my swim baits, and even my swim baits in here lately I haven't had much luck. But like I said, I used the wacky rig the other day and I got a bite. So we're gonna throw it out here and see if we can't get a bite with that. They seem to be biting worms lately, little plastic worms around here. I'm gonna stick the camera in this little pond and see clarity and see what we can see down in here. Just kind of curious myself, because it looks pretty clear from the surface. but you never know. So let's see, I see a little bass down there already, so I have to do it this way, guys, unfortunately.
Hey y'all, it's me, Katie, for the Catty Bass. Just me out today. Sometimes I like to try out new spots, and if it looks like it's good, bring Steven over later. Today I'm at Fred Lee Park. Fred Lee. It's off of Emerson, another spot in Palm Bay. I'm kind of curious to see if the canal's some good fishing, so let's go see. Alright, let's see what we can catch today. It's a little breezy, but I might have a chance. I'm just going to let it sit there. It's a little overcast this morning. We're expecting rain all week, and I wanted to get a chance to get out here early before that happened. Canal stretch is pretty good. I've seen fishermen here before, but don't know if they've had much luck. Definitely tell the wind's drifting a little bit by where my bobber's moved from where I had it. I don't even know if there's anything in this canal. I mean, where there's water, there's gotta be fish, right? Looks like I'm gonna get caught up in some weeds. Reel it in a little bit. Yeah. Don't know if anything else will be sitting there, these weeds and everything. We're going to draw it back in and toss it again, because it looks like I've caught some weeds on the end of it. Oh. Clean break, just one. Let's try and toss it out a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if I'll see bluegill, if I'll see bass. Might even find something I haven't seen before. Alright, y'all. I'm just walking down trying to see if I can, see anything. Get a better feel for this area. There's something down there floating. It's kind of white. I think it's more trash than anything else. I don't think it's... Well, no. Oh, it's a fish. Ooh. Let's see if I can get him interested. Not sure what he is. But he's sitting down. I'm gonna reel in closer. I'm gonna see if I can get him interested. I had to look twice. I saw that back fin going. Not sure if he likes worms, but we're gonna find out. I don't see him now. I think he's gone under. I think in my enthusiasm, I might have scared him off. Alright, y'all, something bit at me. We're going to try and throw it in the same general direction, location, see if I can set that hook right this time. It wasn't a really hard pull, so it wasn't, I assume it wasn't a big fish, but at this point I'll settle for bluegill, something small. on. You were interested in it once, you should be interested in it another time. Oh, a little movement. Alright. Oh! Oh, nope. Alright, sometimes when the bobber goes down completely, it, you guys set that hook. I thought I had. Oh. Oh! Now we got fish. Now we got fish, y'all. Shoot. And I'm pulling him through the weeds. Oh! And that is a... Oh, goodness, that looks like a brim. Oh, he is good side. Actually, you know what? I think this is a Mayan. You know what? We were just looking at a bunch of these guys online last night. Hello, you gorgeous fish. I saw some trash over here earlier. Told myself I'd come back and get it. It looked like one of Steven's bags. Let's see if I can find it. No, it was down here by the bridge. There you are. Alright. So, somebody has been out here. Now, police you trash people. That's nasty.
Alright guys, so a disadvantage to this wacky rig, as you can see the hook is exposed. So it's going to get caught up on some of these weeds a little bit more than the Texas rig. That's the advantage the Texas rig has, is you set up the hook to be weedless. So you're going to have that disadvantage with this one. You can still work it in some areas that have weeds, but like these weeds down here, because you can kind of pull them up over top. But for the most part, if you're fishing in a really weeded area, you're not going to want to use this rig. Alright guys, so Poppe Water is at this park doing some hydrant testing. You can see over there the red hose coming out of the hydrant. And what's happening is that water's flushing down the parking lot, coming out that culvert there. So a lot of stuff's getting washed out into that culvert. So I might actually try and throw my line out inside that mixture of clouds. You can't really see it right now, but there's a lot of dirt and stuff getting blown out in there. So the fish might be hanging out right around there. So I'm going to go and try and throw my line out there and see what happens. Hey guys, as you can see, a lot of water coming in here. A lot of times it dumps nutrients. You can see a bunch of little minnows around here. So hopefully the fish are going to want to stick just out there past the break. So we're going to cast this line. Oh, perfect. Right near where I wanted it. I'm going to cast it out there. Give it a couple twitches. Sorry for the shaking. Alright guys, so I wasn't having much luck with the wacky rig or the whopper plopper, so what I'm doing is I'm going with this little swim bait. I've had my best luck with these things. I actually caught the biggest bass I ever caught with these. I didn't really measure him, but he was a good size. You can pick these little suckers up at Walmart for $1.50 for a pack of 2, and they come a variety of colors. I've got this color today because this actually looks more like the little bait fish that I keep seeing swimming around in here. So when all else fails, go back to what you've caught bass on before. Hopefully that'll work. So let's try it. Alright, well guys, I only cast it out 3 times, and some of the reasons why people may not fish in this area is, I don't know if you can see him, that little guy right there. I cast it out 3 times and he already came towards my lure. It's going to be a little tricky to reel in and not get him. See, he's already swimming towards it. So I've got to try and reel this sucker in so that where he doesn't get it. So you see, he really tried for it that time. That might limit my ability to fish in this pond. I'm trying not to catch him, but that's Florida for you. We got alligator. If it's a body of water, there's probably an alligator in it somewhere. And this guy just seems to be like a 3-footer, if that. You can see him right there. Might hinder me a little bit and cause some issues. It looks like there's another one way out there too, so that might be why most people don't fish in this pond, is these little guys probably cause troubles the whole time. If I get a fish, it's gonna make it a little more interesting in bringing them up. Now if I get a fish, these little gators are going to make it a little more interesting trying to reel it in. So we'll do the best we can given the circumstances. So well, as you can see, they've got very little fear of humans, which is kind of annoying at this point. Shit, that's near that guy. Doing my best to fish around these guys, but you see he's sitting right there and the other one's sitting right out in front of me. Which, and then there's another one, I don't know if you can see him, sitting right over there on the bank. If you can't see him, I'll point him out when we go to edit the video. He's sitting right there on the bank. I didn't even notice him until just now. That's the problem with gators. They're very camouflaged, very hard to see. And even in the water, it takes quite a bit of getting used to spot them. Well, unfortunately, due to the way they're sitting around me, I may not be doing much fishing in this pond. Probably won't do much fishing in here. Probably get ready to just pack up. With him sitting there, there's no way I'd be able to reel in a fish if I got one. So they would snag it long before I can reel it in. Fortunately, I'm gonna have to walk towards that guy in order to get out of here.
Y'all, let's see if I can remember what it is Stevens taught me. Taught both of us about this hook. Let's title this a 1, 2, 3, 4. Oop. Ow. tight. Go through. That end. Get this and and what do you know, people? Look at that. I actually got it. Alright, y'all, just a quick reminder, don't forget that water, because that's important. Try this again a little bit further down over here. That's where I caught what I think was that Mayan. Don't know if he's still hungry or if he's got a couple friends that might be hungry. Getting a little late in the morning now, a little after 9. Little warm out, but not too bad. Oh, I think I see a fellow fisherman right down by the bridge. Can't tell from here if he's one or not. Could just be walking. Not the best of paths to be walking, but you know, it's Florida. Oh, if you look straight out from here, got a little turtle friend. Oop, little turtle friend checking me out. Can't tell if that's weed. I might have another fish checking me out. Super excited, just caught another fish. I think this could be a bluegill. Actually, this is a little bit different than some of the fish that I've caught, so we're going to try and get him nicely off this hook. Although it looks like he swallowed it and the worm, so we'll see how this is going to go. Oh my word, guys. So that last fish that I just caught, he had a little bit of what looked like a cut on him just before he hit this hook. Something pretty sizable, pretty big. Splashed over here, so we're gonna set another worm on the hook and we're gonna see if we can get whatever this was to hit. All right, y'all, I don't know what I just had on the line. It was it was strong, whatever it was, and I kid you not, just as I was reeling it in, it snapped my line. So unfortunately no hook. That's the way it goes with fishing sometimes, but holy snap, I'm gonna have to bring the stronger rod next time, the stronger line when I come here. But I'm gonna call it a day. It's looking kind of overcast. I do have a gator friend down here that I'm gonna give him his space and let him do his own fishing.
All right, guys, as I pointed out earlier, that one gator, that's where he was sitting. I was over there. So just in this little small area, there were 3 alligators, so that's pretty much going to make it impossible to fish in this little area. And that might be why most people don't fish in here, is because of the gators. So, all right. Unfortunately, I wanted to try this for a little bit and actually give it a shot, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to due to the alligators. All right, before I move on to one of those other ponds, I'm going to try again right in here. This is where we did the worm video. Let's see if I can't get anything to bite in this area. And then I'll move on to the other ponds if I don't get a bite here. Unfortunately, I had to move away from that other pond. Gators were just, I tried casting out a couple more times. Every time it would hit the water, they'd start swimming towards it. So I couldn't even do the right action to the lure because of the gators, having to dodge them. So we'll see what we can do here. All right, guys, so I'm using the wacky rig over here, and I just had a half bite. I say half because they took it a little bit, but they didn't really take it all. I tried setting the hook, and really it wasn't even in the mouth. I could tell it wasn't in the mouth all the way when I went to go set the hook. I'm just slowly letting it sit, let it sink back down, give it like 1 or 2 twitches, and then let it sink again. And that's what they bit on. I don't know what it was. It may have been a bluegill trying to just bite off more than you could chew. They tend to do that sometimes. But we'll see if we can't get it to take the whole thing this time. Alright, guys, so wacky rig caught this little bass. He's not that big, but you can see where the hook got him. I got a little bass out of it. Just same technique I was telling you about there just a minute ago. So we're gonna get him off the hook, get him back into the water. But that breaks my no catch streak lately that I've had. Well, and there goes my worm, fortunately. Fortunately, you just buy a whole pack of those at Walmart and all that, so. All right, so that shows a little wacky rig right there. You can catch little bass on it. You can even catch bigger bass, but that just shows they will bite it. So get this guy back into the water somewhere where I'm not going to fall. There we go. Yes, finally broke the streak of not catching anything. All right, guys, so I had another bite. I put another worm on there, and I had another bite pretty quick. First cast back out there. Unfortunately, he bit it. I let tension up so that I could try and let him take the worm in a little more to set the hook, and he took it underneath something where it got stuck. So I lost the hook and the worm. So I got to re-rig up. But that's something to be mindful. I mean, you got to let a little tension on them so that they'll take the worm, but you don't want too much or something like that, because once the bass get it and they feel tension on it, like they're being dragged somewhere, they're going to dive to somewhere to hide underneath a log, weeds, and I think it got hooked up in that pipe that runs down there towards those buoys. It was about center, right about where it would be. So I think what happened is he went up underneath the pipe, and I think I might have gotten hooked up on the pipe. So just something to be mindful of. So all right guys, so I'm calling it quits today. I can tell that the storms are about to roll in here a little bit. All in all, I would consider it a successful day. I mean, I caught one, but considering I've been on a no catch streak lately, I'd say it's a success. Sorry. Caught him on the wacky rig. Didn't get anything on the whopper plopper, but like I told you earlier, I'm still still learning on that one. Wacky rig is, if you're not comfortable with the Texas rig, which I showed you in the earlier video, it is a very simple rig to set up. You tie the hook on, you take the worm, find the center, stick it through, and then you just throw them out there and you twitch them a little bit, reel the tension in a little bit, twitch them again, let the lure sink to the bottom a little bit. Like I told you, I had another bite. He unfortunately got off. He went underneath the pipe. I think it might have been a big one, because just the way he pulled on it afterwards, and then I got stuck on the pipe. But all in all, it's a successful day. So till next time, if you like the video, hit like, subscribe. If you have any suggestions in the Brevard County area where you'd like to see us go, if you're out of town, so you can see it for yourself before you come here, just let us know. We'll try and get to that area, and hopefully we'll be posting some more kayaking videos here soon. Bye.